Hi everyone! Today I'll be showing you how you can make a little wine tote. Let's get started. Hold all 8 of your ropes together and then from the end measure down 30 inches. Okay, once you have measured 30 inches from the end of all your ropes, we're going to tie all of these ropes together with a simple overhand knot. Before you tighten your knot all the way tight, I recommend measuring the placement one last time to make sure these remaining ends are 30 inches long. Okay, so just double check your work before you tighten that all the way up. Now, once you have that overhand knot tightened up, I recommend pulling on each individual string just one time to make sure the overhand knot is pretty smooth and looks good. Otherwise, it's time to move on to our next step. So take the shorter ends of your ropes and just drape them out of your way, and then secure your project down to a tabletop surface, or you can hang your project up from a hook as well. Now take your cords and separate them into 2 sections of 4. We're going to form the handle of our little wine tote by tying alternating half-hitch knots. So with these 2 sections, I'm going to take the section on the right side and cross it over the left cords to form a loop. Then I just continue to twist those right cords around the left side and pull them through the loop. Then pull it tight. Now I take the left side to cross over the cords on the right to form a loop. Twist those left cords all the way around the right side and pull them through the loop. Pull it tight. And we're just going to keep repeating these steps until the ends that we're working on now match the side we left off at the top. Okay, so until about 30 inches remain, or until it's even. That's how many of these knots you want to make. And here is what it looks like once I have finished all my knots. And just again, you're tying your project until all of these ends match on both sides of the handle, okay? Now it took me 34 knots to reach this point. You might need more or less depending on how tight you make your knots, if you're using a different size of rope, different type of rope, or even a different brand of rope. Your size of knots might be slightly different than mine, so just keep that in mind that you really want to just go until your ends are even. Okay, if somehow you get off, you can always undo that first knot and start working the other direction, or even untie the knots if needed. Okay, so just keep that in mind, that that is an easy way to fix any errors in measurement, is that you can always undo or redo your knots, okay? So once you have the other side complete, we are just going to tie an overhand knot here, right under the side of the handle we just finished on, okay? So just like we did at the start of the project. Now our next step is to form the basket for our wine bottle to sit into, okay? And to make this easier, I'm going to hang my project up from a hook. Okay, so I have now hung my project onto a hook just to make tying the basket slightly easier. So our next step is to start forming square knots. So I'm going to take 2 cords from one side of the bag and then 2 cords from the other side. And with these 4 cords, I'm going to move down about 3 inches. Now you can eyeball this or fully measure for more accuracy. But moving down 3 inches, we're going to tie a square knot. So to make a square knot, I'm going to take the side on the right to cross over the 2 cords in the middle to form a loop. Then the side on the left is going to go over that right cord, behind the 2 cords in the middle, and up through the loop. And I'm going to pull that nice and tight. Then to finish my square knot, I take the side on the left to go over the 2 cords in the middle to form a loop. That right side goes over the left, behind the 2 in the middle, and up through the loop. And I'm going to pull that nice and tight. Just like that. So now I'm going to take 4 more cords to tie another square knot, and this time I'm going to use 4 cords all from this one section. Okay, so just take 4 cords. We're going to match the same location of the square knot, but tie that square knot just as before. Just like that. Now we're going to do the same on the left side. So gather 4 cords here on the left and tie another square knot matching the same location. Now I'm going to rotate my project around, and I'm going to take the last 4 cords. So it's 2 cords from one section and 2 cords from the other section. And again, I'm just tying them together in a square knot, trying my best to keep the location matched with the previous square knots. Just like that. And we have formed our first part of the basket. This is what it will look like. And now all we're going to do is move down another row and repeat. So I'm going to move down about 2 to 3 inches. Again, I like to just eyeball it, but you can measure to make your placements more accurate. So move down. We're tying an alternating square knot, which means I'm taking 2 cords from each previous square knot that is adjacent to each other. Then just tie another normal square knot. your next 4 cords from 2 previous square knots and tie a square knot. I'm going to rotate my project around to do the other side. And I just want to point out, as you do your square knots, take a peek at your ropes and make sure they're just hanging straight down and not crossing over each other. Okay, you want them to just hang straight and neat. And we just repeat for another row. Try to move down about the same amount of space as you left here between those first 2 rows. Now we're going to move down and do a 4th and final row of square knots. And once you have finished that 4th row, we're just going to move down another couple inches, okay, about 2 to 3 to 4, kind of a personal preference here. And we're just going to connect the bottom of our basket with an overhand knot, okay, just like we did at those handles. Once that's tied, pull each individual cord just to smooth out and tighten up your overhand knot. I like to take a pair of scissors and just trim those ends to make them even and a little shorter. Okay, you can cut them to the desired length. And now our wine tote is ready for wine. So I hope you guys found this video helpful and inspiring, and thank you so much for watching.